How's it going, everyone? Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live. My name is Rick Ramirez, also known as Rick's 2 Cents, along with my fellow co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything.
No deal.
Thank you for joining in, everyone. I think Roger will be joining, but maybe a little late, and Skyler will not be joining us today, just in case anyone is wondering. David said, "Good evening, everyone from South Milwaukee. Just checking in. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for checking in."
David.
So, are you allowed to talk about what we talked about offline, Steve, or
Yeah.
you have to hold that to your chest for now?
It's not a secret.
You want to share what arrived in your shop today?
I'll show a picture. How about that? If I can figure out how this screen sharing crap works again.
Phil said hello from Monarch's Corner, South Carolina. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining.
Oh, where'd my share go now? Oh,
Gary said hello from Waverland, Iowa. Hello, Gary. You're not too far from me in Illinois.
Okay, here we go.
That is a big box.
Yeah, I left the Kubota there for scale.
Right.
It's and the other box is right behind it. My shop is normal. This is basically my whole shop.
Hold on. So both of those boxes are just for that one machine?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
The big box is the CNC cabinet. And
okay.
all the little boxes in behind it. So there's two pallets basically. So it's a pretty impressive bunch of hardware, but it took all of my shop space. And
crazy.
So
how much of it, or have you not dug in? How much of it is assembled versus assembly required?
So I mean, the laser, or all the laser and air dryer and all that kind of stuff, that stuff's all together. You just got to plug in hoses and plugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cabinet, which is this big box, it's got a really nice jack system, like it's got screw jacks in it built into the cabinet because it's packed, right? Like it's like a flat pack almost, and you take the crank and you crank the thing up, and then you can put the front and side panels on, front, back, and side. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. I might have another picture here of the actual cabinet. Oh, there's the plug I mentioned.
Oh, okay.
So this is kind of what it looks like when it's coming off the pallet. So again, really nice design in the box. It's all like when you fold the front down, it basically turns into a ramp. So you just roll up the flat feet and then the rollers. You can just roll it down the ramp.
I'm surprised they put the receptacle like that. The end.
Yeah, that's a 240 volt 20 amp plug.
Yeah.
The normal one is a 15 amp plug, and it's the two paddles are horizontal. With a 20 amp, it's one up and one sideways.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my project coming up, since I've been dealing with
very cool
hardware crises for the last little while.
So you haven't had a chance to use it, just getting an unboxed and electric setup?
Yeah, I got the cabinet mostly assembled today. I spent most of my morning tearing down my 90 watt CO2 laser.
Nice one.
So
and you know, you hit the 100,000 subscribers. So any contact from YouTube yet?
No, not yet. I don't know if they'll actually contact me other than to send me a plaque at some point. But
they don't even send it to you anymore. You have to pay for it now.
Well,
yeah, you're eligible now to click on a link. Anyone can click on that link. It'll just say that you're not eligible. So now when you click on that link, you'll have the option to purchase it.
I haven't seen this link, so
yeah. Someone one time sent it to me like, "Oh my God, look, you can click on this," and I clicked it, and it was like, you don't have enough subscribers. So I was like, "Oh,
I guess not important enough yet."
It's a public URL, but you can't order it until then. No. Tim Sand said, hey, thank you for joining.
Hey, Tim.
As always, if anyone has any questions, let us know. Appreciate everyone checking in. Let us know where you're joining them from. Cheers from Blissville. What's NB? Nebraska, right?
No, New Brunswick, most
New
likely.
Brunswick. Okay.
Well, you could be Nebraska. I don't know I don't know all the state 2-letter.
Yeah, me
acronyms.
either. I was guessing.
I thought Nebraska was like NE or something.
Yes.
I believe this is New Brunswick.
Download Junkyard Adventures. I like that name. Very cool. So, do you do a lot of auto repairs and you do some down and dirties in a junkyard?
No, it's junkie, not junkyard.
I'm asking. I'm just asking. Tom said, good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining, Tom. All right, Steve.
Tim says he's I assume he meant giddy as a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
I will be, hopefully. Right now, it's just like I look at my shop and go, holy cow, I got to move some stuff around here so I can walk. Like literally, I couldn't get out the door of my shop yesterday because there was just so much crap in the way. So I had to move just so I could quit for the day.
Very cool, though, man. Very excited. Very happy for you.
Yeah.
Chuck said, hello from Florida. Hey, how's it going, Chuck? Thank you for joining. Let us know if you have any questions. Appreciate you checking in. Oops, but
oh, did I click on something? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you clicked on Radui.
Radui says hi.
Yeah. Hello. I have a question for you guys. I heard on the radio this morning driving to work, and it said, what is something that was a rule in your house that was like something grew up that you had to do? Like my thing was when the lights came on outside, I better be home. When the grass needed to be cut, I better cut it. My father didn't want to ask me to cut the grass. I just had to do it automatically. Didn't matter what day I cut it. Didn't matter at all. Just needed to be cut. There was just certain rules I had in my house. And I think we say all the time that we're creating these type of side hustles to provide for our families. And, we're giving to our kids always more than you're giving them more than what you had. And that's the goal, right? But are we making them too soft? Are we polishing them too well? Are they not getting enough calloused hands? Just
yeah.
Question,
Well, one of my sons is a woodworker anyway, so he's a carpenter.
There you go.
But fine woodworking.
So did you have any weird or strict rules in your house that you had to go?
I mean, definitely when the street lights came on, I had to be home.
Right.
Otherwise, in my neighborhood, my mother would just open the door and yell, right? Like you could be 3 blocks away and there'd be some relay of kids telling you that, hey, your mother's calling.
I remember when I was a kid, people talking about Saturday Night Live. And I would hear other stories about other kids talking about, but I never got to watch it as kids. I was never allowed to stay up that late. 9 o'clock, I had to go to bed. That was just the rule in our house.
Yeah, I never watched it.
So curious if you guys had any crazy rules in your house growing up as a kid that you had to follow, and did you impede any of those on your kids as you became a parent? TCC 1940 said, just grabbed a glass of wine, looking forward to enlightenment. I got my Modelo. Happy hump day, everybody. Happy hump day, everybody. I hope I'm a little more entertaining.
When you're retired, every day is hump days. Every day, every night is Friday night, and every morning Saturday morning. So,
I thought Roger would be on today, and he'd get a kick out of the wrong side, the birdhouse in the background. If anyone doesn't know it, I had made a birdhouse, and it took a very long time to sell. So I just kept one. Didn't sell. But we had this whole conversation rabbit hole about that, and part of it was that I was selling to the wrong market and I was going too low. Sometimes when your prices are too low, it actually hurts you by having a more expensive price, not always an attractive price. You attract a different audience, right?
Yeah. Hey, Andrew's back.
Good morning from Tokyo. Wow.
Well,
thank you for joining.
I guess it is morning in Tokyo.
Kevin said, good evening from Westchester this week. Thank you for checking in, Kevin. Appreciate you, brother.
In Virginia this week.
Yeah.
Last week he was in Nashville or something, wasn't he? All these roadies.
So just in case you're new to the live, if you're ever wondering why I'm actually reading these comments, it's for this exact thing right here. So, hey guys, I can't hear nothing, but I'm here in the shop running the CNC. So there's some people who are just looking at the comments because they're running very large equipment because they know we share them. There's other people who can't watch it all because they're driving or they're working and they're just listening to us in our ear. So we're well aware that you can see the comments, but some people are not watching it. Some are only listening. So as a courtesy, we read all the comments, just in case you ever wonder why we do that.
When I'm running my CNC, I usually use my noise canceling earbuds, and I can listen to things like I'll listen to YouTube videos while I'm working.
So the first earbuds I got, because I was so worried about Ricky, wasn't so much about me. The first earbuds worked so well, I didn't like them. It was like quiet. Like I can't like work all day like that. It was like too tone deaf. The second set of earbuds I have now, I'm be doing a review on them. They're better. I could hear it, but it's not ears piercing. But it has Bluetooth and I can listen to music. So I don't mind listening to them all day because I can have my YouTube playlist on or Pandora playlist on. But I understand, heavy equipment, it is, especially a CNC or planer, they're very loud. It's definitely, PPE is good. All right, Steve, you're up.
Jim says, do I have a fiber laser I want to get rid of? Anytime I have anything to get rid of, it disappears pretty quickly. No is the short answer, I guess. Everything I have there, I'm currently using, but I do expect at some point in the next little while to get a bigger fiber laser. But I'm sure, I know Tim is on. Tim asks me on a regular basis what I have to sell. So
I'm not sure if any of you guys saw, but a while back, maybe around Christmas time, I actually shared Lowe's sells these. I don't have one handy. I'll just show it. Lowe's sells these like mini toolboxes. They kind of remind me of like the Macco toolboxes with the roller bearing drawers. Not something you're going to put all your mechanic tools in, but just something cool you can organize it. Actually, a lot of women are using them for makeup. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because now they've licensed with the NFL, and they're going to be wrapped in every single NFL team. So fingers crossed. They contacted me that I will be given free complimentary ones that we can do on giveaways for our live. So
what does a toolbox have to do with the NFL? This seems like a bad sponsorship to me. I don't know.
I don't know. You're a fan, so you get your favorite sports team. I was able to do pre-sale before they even existed, or before they're available to the public. I clicked on the Chicago Bears. I went to order, and then I was like, "Oh, do they have all the teams?" Sold out. Like, what the? So, because it was an Excel spreadsheet with all the lists, because it wasn't public. So I should have just checked out right away and went back and circled back, but because that sold out that fast, in like 7 minutes. Hey, Roger.
Roger, looks like
you've got a little late tonight. We had some unexpected company, and well, I wasn't watching the clock, so my bad.
Looks like you were.
You got a nice tan.
Yeah.
What?
You got a nice tan.
That's because I have commercial greenhouses. I can be out there with no shirt, and
whoa.
I do wear shoes though.
Radui said, "What's the melting point of PLA? Want to make a basket? You want to take this, Roger?
PLA. Want to make a basket with sous vide? I'm going to give you an explanation of that. About 200 C.
I thought it was lower than that.
You're going to make a basket. Yeah, a little bit. But if you're going to make a basket to use with sous vide, I use Pet G. I wouldn't use PLA.
What is sous vide?
That's a water bath you do. I cook that way too. It's for example, I could put ribeyes into my sous vide and set it for 130 degrees. It'll fully cook them in a few hours, right to medium rare. Then I could pull them out of the sous vide and throw them on the grill and sear them on both sides, and you have an absolutely perfect steak.
Learn something new every day. Tim said Steve sold it to me.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I sold it to him. Yeah, there's competition. See what I said? It's like, hey, Tim, I got something to sell. Catch it before it hits the floor.
Downloaded Junkie Venture said 2 days of hell trying to do filament on 2 laser heads, finding a bad mirror and lots of time pulsing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was talking to him about this today. Finding one bad mirror. Yeah, he was having some alignment issues, and it turned out to be just a mirror that was bad.
But Nancy, man, I haven't seen Nancy in a while. I don't know if she gave up. That laser was so discouraging of hers. She couldn't get it aligned.
The first time you align, man, it's intimidating.
Yeah, she was all about it, and then I think that really discouraged her. You know, that and what's crazy is that anything can do that to you, right? A CNC, a laser, anything can do that to you. You just start beating your head against the wall, and it can discourage you to walk away. But sometimes, you know what you need to do? Sometimes you need to do exactly that. You just need to walk away, calm down, take a breath, and come back to it, right?
Go for a walk on the beach.
Yeah. Go have a beer, smoke a cigarette, whatever, so you don't get mad and break something. I did that with Roger when the first time I replaced my the hot end on the 3D printer was stuck. Walked away. I came back and I said, Roger, what am I doing wrong? He said nothing. Just pull with confidence. I wasn't sure if he's still talking about a 3D printer.
I was talking to a guy I met online. We've gotten to kind of know each other, and he was trying to print PLA, and I don't know, he has a Centauri carbon or something, and he said it wasn't sticking on, like he was printing and it wasn't sticking on the corners. And I said, well, what are your settings? And he had the bed set to 70 Celsius for PLA. I said, that's too hot. I said, lower it to like 55. He said, well, I went online and somebody said, raise it. I said, no, it's too hot. I said, at 70, it's going to start getting soft. And I said, then it won't stick, right? So
at 60, it should be the absolute max.
Yeah. 60, well, I normally, I don't know what bamboo does. It's all kind of automatic with a bamboo.
Yeah.
But I think it's like 65 for the first layer, and then it drops to 55 for PLA.
Yeah.
Roger, I was saying before you joined that I thought you got a kick out what's right above my head.
Oh, DeWalt collection?
No, a birdhouse.
Oh, a birdhouse. It's all birdhouses.
Oh no, his build plate was at 75 Celsius. That's way too hot.
Oh man. Yeah. He was trying to make those melt.
Anyway, I gave him some settings, and he sent me a message to say it was printing for 20 hours, and it was so far so good. I will point out the recommendation I gave to him was just go ask ChatGPT what good settings are. This applies to everything, by the way. You can do this with laser settings too. So
I thought you always just ask your wife, because your wife always knows everything, right?
Oh, she does, but she doesn't really. She doesn't share her CNC or laser settings or 3D printer settings. She keeps those very close.
Roger, right before you joined, I said, what was something as a child that was a rule in your house, strange or not, that you had? And did you have any of those rules that you carried on down to your own children? Or did you make some funky rules of your own? So that's what this is. It's TTC 1940 said, my mother had a whistle for me to get home.
My parents had a metal triangle that you like rattle this big metal stick around in.
Like a dinner bell?
Otherwise it was street lights. When street lights come on, get your ass home.
Seems to be a universal rule.
Yeah. You guys remember that commercial? It's 9:00 at night. Do you know where your kids are? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, my mother didn't have that problem because at 9 o'clock I was asleep. Still am for the most part.
Kevin said weekends by a day for street lights. Weekends when the second light came on, and you had to be within Dad's whistle about 2 blocks. There you go. There you go. You want to take this one?
Yeah, what is the street light law? They come on, you have 10 minutes to be in, and that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I feel bad for my kids a little bit because when you grow up with neighbors, your neighbors all become friends. And because I own property, I don't have like a lot of neighbors, right? So we're just starting to become friends with some of our neighbors, but we just didn't grow up in a neighborhood like I grew up in where you know all your neighbors, right? So you want to take this one, Steve?
Trade Skillers Anonymous. He's back. He or she. Checking in on the ride from Interstate 10 from Panama City to Mobile, Alabama. Then he's asking you, Rick, have you done any video on the new CNC?
Actually, I was concentrating on some upgrades on my shop because in the middle of it, I can't do some videos with it looking chaotic, kind of why I'm sitting here and I'm not looking over there. And then I did do some new content. I was about to drop it, and I was asked to wait until the 20th. So
I've been desperately trying to get videos done, but the last 3 lasers I've gotten have all been prototypes. So, I'm not going to knock them too hard, but every single one of them failed. So I'd get halfway done a video and then the thing would die. It's like, okay, send me a new one. Right. So the third one failed yesterday. And it was working fine. It was like, hey, this is going to be good. And then boom, lasers moving around like it's doing a job. But there's someone home, but there's no lights on, to misquote the famous quote. Wow. Yeah, laser just doesn't turn on.
So to answer your question about the CNC videos, I think I'm going to take a different approach than most people I've seen do CNC videos. I'm going to really do kind of like a CNC 101. And what I mean is I'm really going to start from the beginning. And partially because I started from the beginning. Like I had zero experience whatsoever with CNC. So kind of starting like what's out there, why I chose what I chose, and what's pros and cons of each, why I decided to go one way or another, and why I would choose to go one way or another, whether budget or whatever, software, just the whole nine. And the biggest thing I think with a CNC is most people don't realize that the CNC is probably the small portion of the price, right? Because you need a spindle, you need a cooler, you need software, you need a table, you need dust collector. Like it all adds up so fast. And then when you have friends like Steve that convince you to buy a bunch of router bits you don't need,
Oh yeah, right. I told you need 3 router bits.
I know, but I'm kidding. Steve's actually was yelling at me, I'm going too crazy. But it just adds up so fast, and you think like, you got this $3,000 CNC, and then by the time you add everything all up, it's a lot more than $3,000.
Yeah. Nowhere did I tell you to buy a $500 flattening bit.
But I got it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, then you're afraid to use it. The workspace is probably all bumpy because you won't put that thing in the chuck.
Oh, Tim says, Roger, shirt's kind of bland. Well, this was kind of we had an unexpected company. And in fact, my girlfriend told me, she says, it's like 6:39. I go, oh, crap. So I run down here and fired things up. So didn't have time to put the fancy shirt on tonight.
Couldn't get to wardrobe in time.
Yeah.
My wife made me a steak. I don't think I've eaten a steak so fast. I still got a piece of meat stuck in this too. She's like, you want to eat afterwards? I'm not microwaving that steak. I'm eating that steak. Steak so fast, man. I was like record time before we went on the live.
Well, I smoked a couple racks of ribs today. Then we had more people over than we thought we were going to have, and cowboy beans and potato salad, and had a pretty good feast.
Nice. You're up, Steve.
Jim says, "Do you have?" Telling me I have to share the wealth. I can't just favor Canadians. Remember, I'm not a fan of the golden one. Your politics aside, it would be the problem. So the problem is the shipping cost is going to be insane, right? It's like I wanted to ship something. I had to ship something to Europe, and I mean it was like weighed like it was 2 challenge coins basically, and if I shipped them with UPS, it was going to be like $140. It's like,
Steve, can you
holy
use
shit.
pirate ship in Canada?
What's that?
Pirate ship.
Oh, there's like that's some discount shipping thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 50 of those, but you don't, you in the end, like I mean, I use our regular postal system. I have a government account or a business account, and
Yeah.
I save all kinds of money. So it went from 100 and I think it was $138 to 30 or something. So
just with me, UPS or FedEx, pirate ship is outrageously different in price. Yeah, like sometimes half. So I wasn't sure if that's something you checked out. Here we go, Reddy. The golden one. You mean the orange one?
Let's not get into the politics.
Whew. You want to take this one, Roger?
Reno 65 Pro, both 3mm and 6mm bathwood. The notice along the same x-axis, so I'm not cutting all the way through, of aligned and clean mirrors and lenses suggestions. I do not have a Reno, so I can't really offer a whole lot of suggestions there. Maybe your speed's a little bit too fast.
So the one thing that I would say is that whenever I was cutting thin plywood and I couldn't cut through, a lot of times what I would do is I put masking tape down. And the reason I'm saying that is because as I'm adjusting my settings to be slower and higher or faster and whatever, I don't start charring the wood. But I don't mean to say it, but run the light burn test, right? And then keep in mind that whenever you're using wood, like we say with if the humidity's high, like it could have different results. So like I've had these settings written down and I've been able to dial this machine. It's always performed well. And, my lenses are clean. Nothing's dirty. Why is it different? It could be humidity in the wood itself.
Yeah, though this is, well, I assume the 65 means it's a 65 watt, but
yeah, Clack has that.
I've noticed along the same x-axis, I'm not cutting all the way through. Yeah,
so I would also put the
I
string
mean,
in
focus, make sure it's in focus, but it should be, you can be pretty wrong with focus on a diode laser and still be okay. But yeah, slow it down is the short answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can play your setting
or
raise it
or
up,
go fast and do a couple of passes. It takes about the same time and you'll get a neater cut.
I would almost suggest running the light burn test and
sure, always run material tests
first and see what happens. And then, like I said, if those settings are always tried and true, and now you're having an issue, then you could start investigating other things.
I mean, basswood's pretty soft.
Ricky wants to say hello. Notice he's missing a few teeth.
Get in a fight?
Nah, he's starting to lose his teeth.
Well, maybe he mouthed off to you and you took care of it.
Well, that's a good money maker.
Okay. Radu said, no Perth in my house today.
Perth. In the house. Yeah, no, Chris is not here, and who else is from Perth? There's a couple.
Yeah, so where's Chris? ABT Market dropping in. Oh, I did not forget. I did get your email.
He's here.
Logo.
He's here.
ABT Marketing, I got your email. So running some tests on that printer. If you guys didn't catch our last week, I said every single one of our subscribers that if you need anything printed for stickers, that I'll throw you a couple free stickers. no charge. You can try out your logos, try different things. You've never had them professionally printed. See what you think. If you like them, want to order more, let me know. But send them to you, mail them to you, first class mail, free of charge.
See?
Yes, I got your email.
No, next one. The next thing is. See, Chris is here. He's just lurking in the shadows.
He said, "Good day from down." You know what? I didn't even realize that on my website you could text me. I got a text message, and I was like, "What is this?" And when I said that about the stickers, someone on my website texted me, and that was the first. I didn't know that I'd even had that feature. I replied right away because apparently you can text me from the website. So that's kind of cool. Oops. Where he's alive.
Tim's relieved.
Kevin said speed 20, power 70. Yeah, that's like Greek. Like it just every laser, every piece of wood, that material test.
It doesn't sound outrageously bad for settings,
right.
but again, it's different day, especially with natural wood. Like if you're cutting basswood and it's not plywood.
Yeah.
It's next day it's going to be a little damper, and it picks up a little more moisture. It takes a little more energy to get through it. Yeah, it's just you just have to run those tests.
Yep. And like I said, if you're adjusting your settings, you're worried about charring the wood, that masking tape or that'll save you from charring that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not only wood, right? Like somebody asked me last week, I guess it was, about the settings for doing color on stainless steel with a MOPA laser. And I'm like, well, it depends on so much, right? The laser, even the composition of the material. Like just because it says it's 304 stainless, that doesn't really mean a lot, right? Like it could have different composition. So it's, you know, yeah, 304 is supposed to have a certain ratio of materials, but it may or may not be deadly accurate, right? So the settings change.
Yeah. So Kevin's just Jones said, Kevin, check your bed level. I think the reason he's saying that is because he said it was consistently along one axis. So if it's consistently on axis, maybe he's saying
bed leveling is not normally an issue with a diode laser anyway. It's, I mean, like you can be wildly out of focus with a diode laser and it'll still cut all right. And Kevin confirms that the bed is in fact level. Yeah.
I said, we were just talking about you, Chris.
Talking smack.
Chris said, slept in. I have a bad cold. I think I need life support. Yeah. I tell you what, a cold or a flu, man, can really kick your butt sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. Tim was in my shop last week, and I was feeling a little scratchy this week. So I don't know, Tim. He might have infected me.
You guys shouldn't have been kissing, but hey,
no, it's a small shop. So
TTC 1940 said, have basic no experience using a hand router, but I understand that when routing the outside, let's say cutting a board, you go counterclockwise. I have to increase the size by two-part question. Okay, so hold on. Let me go to the second part.
I have to increase that, yeah.
Increase the size of the circle by using a template. How do I go clockwise?
Oh, now do I go clockwise? I mean, if you're using a trim router, clockwise or counterclockwise doesn't matter a lot. You got to hang on to the trim router though, because it will grab if you aren't paying attention. I don't think you have to go clockwise.
Yeah, I just think that, starting and stopping and how the end grains are, that's going to help you with blowout, right? When you first pull in or push in. But once you're consistently moving, it's not going to be too bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, I assume the circle has been rough cut anyway,
Right.
and because there's no way you're going to plunge a router in and cut a circle. It's router's going to be in the corner somewhere.
Yeah. I was waiting for Steve to say that's why you have a CNC.
But Jim doesn't have a CNC, so
yeah, but of course, not everyone has the advantage of having one. So, yes. Jody said, "Hey from OZ2."
Oh, it's Australia.
Oh, Australia. A lot of
I
Australians.
There's a couple more.
Yeah.
JM Creative Studios.
What's crazy is that we're getting enough audience in Australia that it's actually coming up on my demographic YouTube stuff. Like it's actually showing it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, which is cool. Very cool. We're a global international audience.
Well, if we can get all the under 16-year-olds now on watching videos because they can't use Facebook anymore.
Really? It's illegal in Australia?
Yeah, they banned it. I think that's a good thing, actually. Facebook is just toxic.
Are you a little tired today, Roger?
Jeez, he might be.
Long day, I guess. Long day. Chris said, "I need your contact info."
Oh, no.
Chris,
so Chris, Jim was looking to get a hold of you. So if you want to send one of us an email send me an email and I can hook you up with Jim.
Or if you both are on our Facebook group, speaking of Facebook group.
Yeah, you can do that too.
If you're not a member of our Facebook already, go to shoptalklive.club. It's actually in the bottom of the ticker. shoptalklive.club. It's not a website. It's just an auto forward for our Facebook group, so we don't have this big, long.
I'm going to remove Roger until he wakes up.
Yeah, no problem. So, shoptalklive.club. You see it in the ticker there. You do. It is a private group, so you have to request to join. And I want to say that shoptalklive.club is Shop Talk Live's Facebook group, and I say that because it's not mine, it's not Steve's, it's not Roger's, Skylar's, or the Bearded Vikings. And I'm saying this for a reason because we encourage everyone to show their work, post their work, anything you want to sell. If you on social media, you're not intruding or stepping on any one of our toes by posting it, post it away. Yeah, Roger's out.
Must have had a long day.
Had enough? Okay. I like this name. Good evening, gents. Hello, thank you for joining. Tim said either Roger's frozen or he's asleep.
No,
he's down for the count.
He appears to be breathing, but he just seems to be asleep.
Maybe when we end the live, we'll just leave him on there and see how long it takes him to wake up. See how many comments we can get. Roger, are you awake?
Send him a message in the morning to see when he woke up.
Wake up with a sore neck, like, oh man.
Yeah, that's killer.
Said, wake up, Roger. Still getting used to this converting from a Mac to Windows. I tell you, the Mac is nice too because you get used to all those gestures with your hands.
Well, that's your camera or something doing that, right?
What's that?
That's your camera doing that, right?
No, I'm not. I'm saying not with the AI camera. I'm talking about just the mouse.
Oh, just using your mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how you do the 2 fingers, or you do like all these. That's a Mac thing, you know. RZ. What does it say? RZ. How do we say this for? RZ Razer.
RZR Ray.
There you go.
Razor Ray. Razor Ray.
Razor Ray. There you go.
Sorry.
Made it back this week. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you coming in. Let us know if you have any questions. Roger's kind of out at the moment, but he does have a laser to be given away soon. So we'll see when we're actually going to make arrangements for that giveaway.
But I'm betting he won't give it away tonight.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen tonight, guys. Sorry. To be continued. I was going to ask him what he's drinking, but maybe we already finished it. He was barbecuing, so sometimes that heat on the grill makes you cool off a little faster than normal. So, what type of demoing do you want to do with that new laser you got coming? The new laser you got setting up?
I actually have a few customer jobs to do with it. So
Oh, wow.
I'll shoot a lot of videos, and like your CNC, I'll actually do more of a laser welder 101 kind of thing, because I mean, I have welded in the past, but that was when I was in grade 8. So
okay,
that was
106 years ago.
50 years ago or something. Yeah, something like that. So.
Okay,
So I would definitely not call myself a welder. So it'll be a good experience to say, hey, look, I mean, they didn't even have MIG welders when I welded the last time. It was just simple arc welding, right? Just with the big flashing, bright light.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this in a previous live, but I basically made some comments and maybe not get one of those. And it was that really, honestly, my opinion on those is that I think a seasoned welder who's already established, already has equipment, you may not be able to convince them to go buy that to start welding, because they already have everything and they have the top of the line that you do for a living. But what I think, this is just my opinion, that's an easier sell for someone who doesn't have experience, because all those auto features, all those auto things, like it's kind of a leapfrog to be able to all this learning.
Yeah. That is the target market that X-Tool is going after, right? Is people who, I mean, cutting is cutting, right? You lay down a piece of metal in the CNC cabinet. You can cut by freehand too, but cutting is like cutting wood, except a piece of metal comes out the bottom. But for welding, their initial kind of marketing strategy for that was welding for the masses, right?
Yeah, that's honestly how I felt, and I think that it's a competitive edge.
Yeah.
That someone who wants to weld, and maybe it's going to consist, because it's not cheap either, so it's not a one-time use and hey, I got my money for it. You consistently
commercial welders don't like these things, right? They don't like any of these laser welders, in part because it's lowering the bar to the point where you don't have to pay some professional welder $100 an hour to weld your thing for you, right? So it's I get it. I mean, this is threatening to them for sure.
Yes.
But I mean, and people who do plasma cutting, right? So I have an uncle who was a welder by trade, worked for he worked for Hayes Dana, which is part of GM, I think, and welded frames. And I mentioned to him I was going to get this thing. I said, you might be interested. And he said, no. I said, but this thing can cut 10 millimeter steel, right? Like carbon steel. And he said, yeah, so can a plasma cutter. I said, yeah, but this can cut a 0.5 millimeter hole in carbon steel, right? A plasma cutter is going to cut 1/8 of an inch curve, right? It's going to be fairly coarse. So there's value in using this over and above, but welders are going to be threatened like crazy with this.
I was honestly though surprised that the manufacturer took it as kind of an insult, and I was like, I'm not saying it's not professional, I'm just saying that I think you're focusing on the wrong target market, and I think you'd be more successful in a noob.
I mean, there will be a certain group of professional shops that want these things. And I mean, I watched a couple of videos. There's a guy who does British, he's in Britain, UK, and does car restorations. And he got one of these things. And, he thinks it's fantastic because he's restoring cars so he can make parts that for cars that are out of circulation, right? So you can't get parts for them. And so he likes the CNC aspect. He definitely likes the welding aspect. Although I watched another video, like I was shocked. So there's another guy I watch on occasion. He has a wheelchair factory, and he got one of these, and he was trying to weld up the frame of an off-road wheelchair, and he's holding the welder, and he's got his Bucky, his shop assistant, holding the piece of metal he's trying to weld on the other side of where he's welding, and he turns on the welder, and it took like a second, and this guy was jumping, and it went through his glove, and he had a 2nd-degree burn on his hand, and it looked like somebody put a nickel under his skin. It was like it was raised.
Whoa.
And it took a second. It was crazy how fast it was. So you got to be, there's definitely more safety things to be aware of with laser welding.
Yeah, the one thing I kept saying too is that with the laser welder, what I can see is a mobile shop. And what I mean by that is like you're into the automotive restoration of these cars, removing rust. These guys can go buy a Harbor Freight trailer, a 220 generator from Harbor Freight again.
Yeah.
And you don't even need that doesn't weigh anything. You could have a car and pull that on a little trailer and literally be a mobile shop and go body shop to body shop and clean laser clean frames, engine bays, because especially older cars, they don't want to heat them up and start warping all that metal. You got a 1949 Mercury Cougar, one of these lead sleds. These cars lasted 7 years. The last thing they want you to do is warp it all up by sanding it down.
So the hot zone for laser welding is much smaller than even like TIG welding, right? Like you go 3/4 of an inch away from the weld and it's not hot.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And the weld is like really thin if you do it right. I'm a hack, so who knows? But
you will get better.
But a professional welder, so that tool in a professional welder's hands is a miracle tool.
There you go.
But I know they don't like them because it's they've X Tool and a few other companies that are making them now have lowered the bar to the point where these guys, their careers are at risk, I think.
Right. What do they call it? Like non-skilled labor will be able to do it, right?
Yeah, well, sure. Somebody like me who the last time they welded was 40 years ago or 50 years ago can pick up this thing and it'll give you a perfect weld, right?
That's cool. I'm looking forward to see this.
Yeah.
I'll
let you know how it works out. I probably won't do a whole lot of welding, but definitely cutting is something that I want to be able to do.
It's cool. Uber said, have any advice for people doing external engraving on glass with a FUV? Seems like a lot of people having issues.
So this isn't really that hard. So like you're talking surface engraving, not inside a crystal. So I did a video not that long ago. It's now ironically the thumbnail is a rock, but I do the same thing in glass. It's virtually the same settings. And watch that because I talk about the settings there, and it's relatively simple.
Check it out. Chris said Roger will wake up and find out he found the solution to the problem he's been having with problems. I found a few problems that way.
Yeah, he's still asleep.
He's still sleeping. Good day, Chris. Hope you feel better. ABT Marketing said, I think I got it down to the name for my printing business. I thought a few more today, narrowed it down to one. Well, let me know which one you decide. I know you sent me a few. And even if you want to decide to try all of them just to see how they look, no problem. Let me know. All right, Steve.
Tim says Steve's new toy would be perfect for home and business signage. Yeah, and that's what I want to use it for. The first project I have is a sign, actually.
There you go.
Had enough okay, says Steve. Can I get a 12-volt laser module to run on 24 volts by adapting the 4-pin 24-volt to a 3-pin? I'm not going to say yes to that. that sounds pretty risky.
Yeah.
In concept, yeah, you should be able to do this, but it's like at 12 volts, it's drawing quite a bit of current. So, yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I would tend not to certainly not based on the description over a live chat. I wouldn't give you any advice on to doing that.
How's that song go? I'm gonna do some sketchy shit.
I haven't heard that song.
Tony said 5 or 6, so I might be close at the end of it. I think they're talking amongst each other in the comments here.
Yeah.
From the videos I've seen about the welder, the gun is too big for small areas.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be. It's actually reasonable. Like it fits well in your hand. So
we'll see.
It says, Steve, with this new welder, is your shop air cleaner strong enough to handle it? So this thing has like a 10-inch exhaust on it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's serious. And I'm just going to vent it outside.
Let's push it towards your neighbor's house. Chris said, yep, I haven't heard it called that before. I'm adapting the official name from now on. I'm going to do some sketchy shit. Right, we said, give me credit. All right, Steve.
Tim says, by the way, congrats to Steve Makes Everything for surpassing 100,000 subscribers. I'm actually at 101,400 right now. So thanks to everybody who subscribed. I didn't keep track of who the 100,000th person was. Otherwise, a new car would have been on the way to you. But
see his excuse. So if you were, reach out to him.
Yeah, but you'd have to prove it, and only I have those dynamic analytics.
It's too funny. Our dude said no, just naming, not infecting. So said, yep, great benchmark. He should be showing his counter.
Yeah, so unfortunately the here I can show my counter because I want to do a video on how to make these numbers. There you go.
There you
go. Yeah, I have a thing, a collaboration going with Sunlu Filament, and I told them I'd do that as a video, how to make those numbers. But they were supposed to send me some ASA because I want to make numbers for outside, and I don't have any ASA.
Right, said, Tim, I think you meant plaque, not plague. Yeah. New keyboard.
Yeah, autocorrect is your enemy.
Chris said, I just started playing with internal crystal engraving, having fun. It's almost like day one of using a laser all over again.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If you're using something like the X-Tool software, their 3D engraving, internal engraving, like if you give it a photo and you say, make this thing 3D, put it in crystal, it doesn't do the best job but they did send me a message. It seemed like a long time ago to say, hey, we're going to build something that's going to be best of breed. And I haven't seen it yet. So maybe they're still working on it.
So quick, shameless announcement. I get around 3,000 to 5,000 views every month on my website, rickstwocents.com, that I don't sell anything. It's just acknowledging I exist. So Ricky said he wants a dirt bike. And part of in his dirt bike comments, he said that whenever kids ask for toys, most parents say no because toys are too expensive. So with the 3D printer, what we decided is colors we purchased that I wasn't, didn't work out for the price that I wanted because it was just not the right tone or whatever. We're going to use those. And then filaments that are maybe close to the end of the roll that don't have a lot, we're going to use those to keep the cost down. We're going to come with $1 or less 3D prints, and all the proceeds will go towards this dirt bike. So once we put these little toys up, if you guys want to purchase some toys towards the Ricky Dirt Bike Fund, I would greatly appreciate you guys. Yeah. Just had to put a selfish plug out there. And then maybe we'll do some kind of thank you video for everyone who purchased toys to making his dirt bike purchase possible. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. So had enough OK says I have a few 10-watt, 12-volt laser modules and want to use them on a 24-watt or tour with a 3-amp draw.
Do it.
Yeah, it's not cool. Like a 24-watt laser module, it might have 2 power pins, but that's only for current capability. There's still 24 volts on both of them, I think.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it. Sorry.
Put a really big resistor on top of your laser module and drop 12 volts across it at a couple of amps.
Chris said, new car, I could do a Chinese EV with fuel prices the way they are. Yeah, I just bought my daughter a new car for college. Yikes. You know what's funny? We just talked about tractor, Steve. I want to pay my tractor payment this month, and it said $716. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm not behind in my payments. No, that's all I owe. So I was like, yes.
Just cut the check.
So that's pretty cool. So she's got a new car.
My tractor is seven years old. So
okay.
It was paid for. Well, I paid cash for it, but it was paid for a long time ago.
John Deere did the 0% APR, so I was like, screw it.
Yeah,
I did the
you might as well, right?
Yeah.
Let them hold your debt for you.
Yep. Radui said, I saw an ad on Facebook for handheld gun type lasers for stripping paint and stain from furniture. Also saw another handheld for cutting branches off trees in the ground. Thoughts?
Oh my God, that's my thought. So the cutting branches off trees thing, like that's not cool. Keep in mind, this is fire, right? If you light a tree on fire 25 feet off the ground, what are you going to do, right? It's going to burn. The stripping paint stuff, yeah, I mean, that's doable for sure. But I would worry depending on the paint, because there's a lot of lead paint out there, especially if it's old furniture you're stripping. And I don't know that I'd want to be using a laser to get lead paint out in the. You trying to phone him? Jeez, I hope he's like sleeping. He's out.
It's not answering.
No one can answer the phone. We encourage you to use our email, which is on the page. It's probably on the phone.
No.
The phone number.
He's not there.
Not answering. I was all right. I was just snoozing.
Hope so. Jeez.
Yeah. I would agree with Steve. And I would almost say that a Are even those tree trimming branches just gimmicky? Is it an AI trick of the eye? Are they really cutting a branch 150 feet in the air off? I've 100% seen the same videos. Would I ever purchase one to do that? No. Would I say if you purchased one and you didn't have good results, I think you made a stupid decision on purchasing it. That's really not why you should purchase a laser.
Yeah, I would not do that.
Everything above that, go for it. Stripping wood, blah blah blah, all the above, everything else.
Yeah,
But
getting rid of rust, like that. Yeah. That's fair use, right? I mean, the only thing I would worry about with paint is just whether it's got lead in it or not. But
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Put a mask on, you're good to go. You know, everything has sand in my house. 100% has lead in it. My house was built in 1865, so I just take precautions, right?
Yeah, but, you definitely have lead in your paint there.
100%.
At least 50 layers of it.
Yeah, I mean, even the foundation behind me that's painted white, like, yeah. Hope Roger's okay.
Hope Roger's okay.
I'll give him a call again.
He seems to be slowly moving around there.
His speaker's on, so you can definitely hear us. You want to take this one, Steve?
Chris says, I use image to STL. Yeah, that's a good tool for making 3D photos. So far, Cockpit is kind of the leader right now, Cockpit 3D. But at around $500 a year, it definitely gives you sticker shock. When I thought about it, I only have to sell one a month to cover the costs. Yeah. And I mean, these things they're still fairly kind of nouveau. So people love these internal engravings, right? You can sell these things to, like, your own family will pay money for them.
And I think when UV lasers first came out, that was the big hype to push them. And I think the reason that was to push them is because before this desktop version or home ready version or the business ready version, and I'm not saying it's not a good laser. I'm just saying before that, the lasers are so outrageous expensive that would not be something you'd have at a home-based business. That would not be something that's mom and pop shop. That would be.
I mean, the internal engraving stuff has been around for years, right? Like probably 20 years. But the lasers that made it up until really the last year are like 50 grand, right? Like, they're not cheap
or more.
Yeah. So, that's why you only ever saw these internal engravings in souvenir shops, because they wanted volume. They needed to get volume out of them, right? And they were expensive.
Yeah. And the fact that now it's becoming a staple item for every laser manufacturer, they're having their own version of it, only means it's going to drive the price down, right? Because there's 2 or 3 people that come out with it. They're relatively high on the market because they're a hot thing on the market. The only one has it. And as every laser manufacturer has their own version, it's going to make it more readily available.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it drives the material cost down a bit.
Yeah, and I would agree.
The crystals they're still fairly pricey. So
yeah. He said, I hope there's no planes flying over when you're cutting down branches. Yeah, it just seems like a real bad idea, right?
Yeah, how to get thrown in jail. Who's just trimming my trees?
Right. A laser, oh God. So our military is using this now, which is crazy. They were saying that, I forget, not in the United States. There was another country that was shooting down missiles. Every missile they shot down cost them like $13, and the missiles they were shooting down were like 700,000.
Well, that's the Iran drones versus Patriot missiles, right?
Yeah,
you're using a $2 million missile to shoot down a $50,000 drone.
Yeah. So
there's some economics problems there.
Yeah, we all don't have gold toilet seats.
Jim says, I have a couple of stemless wine glasses that I've gotten from wineries, one white lettering and one black. What is the process that was used. So you can use, if it was done with a diode laser, you can put that water slide black stuff on the glass and then engrave it, and when you wash it off, the black will stay there. You can do it that way. You can do a paint fill to get the black. Well, same with the white. You can do that too, but there's processes for it.
The only thing that I would say is if you're using the paint fill, they're probably not going to be dishwasher safe, right? Versus some of the other more harsher chemicals, they're more of a permanent.
But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know if that water slide stuff, even once you hit it with a laser, whether it's going to stay there through a bunch of dishwashing.
Yeah, or you could powder coat it.
You could, or you could UV print on it, or print a sticker and put that on.
Yeah, a lot of different options. Matter of fact, have you do your trials and tribulations through that? Let us know how it goes. Feel free to drop those in the Facebook group.
See, Jim always has these fascinating problems.
Yes, always let others learn from your learning curve, because 100%.
But this is good, right? Because he wants to try new things, and I'm all for people trying things, right? Because sometimes you have a happy accident, right? And you go, hey, this actually works really well, and and usually those kinds of things you keep a secret for a while, because you get a bit of a market advantage out of them. But yeah, you got to try new things all the time.
They said all the squirrels will go blind.
Yeah. Well, so getting back to this video where the guy got instantly burned with the X-Tool metal fab. The guy was welding, and the beam was going through the crack in the two pieces of metal, and it was hitting his concrete floor, and it was melting the concrete.
Whoa.
So that's like 4 feet away, right? So yeah, it's a serious tool, right? Like it's dangerous. You got to be careful.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I know as a welder, you always wear leather. Yeah. But if it was melting concrete, that leather ain't gonna do nothing.
No, well, the guy whose hand got burned, he had a leather glove on, like welding glove, right? Leather, and went right through it in a second. Punched a perfectly round hole through it. That's
crazy. Yeah, definitely have to be safe. PPE is gonna be a must.
He wasn't long getting his hand out of the way though.
Chris said Jim might be a filter with white. I'm sorry, might be a fiber, and white might be a UV laser.
Yeah, the white would
black might be fiber and white UV.
Yeah, although UV on glass tends to be kind of translucent,
like a frosted look almost.
Yeah,
like
it's
UV,
more
right?
of a frosted look than a white.
Yeah.
Fiber won't touch glass at all. At least not without breaking it.
Radu said, my thoughts to fire and trees, lead paint, and just the fact that they're powerful enough to do what's in hand for general public. I mean, there's a lot of idiots out there. Yes.
Yes. So, have you seen these handheld diode lasers that they sell? It's like a flashlight, but it's got like a 60-watt diode laser.
The ones that they're showing, like popping balloons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like, why? Like, what possible use could that be? Right.
Well, if you like to hunt pheasant, that might be useful. You could hunt and cook all at the same time.
Pheasant's kind of my bird feeder, so I don't need to hunt them. I can almost feed them out of my hand, and they're pretty wild things normally.
Yeah.
Jim says,
I feel like they are printed.
Yeah, they could be. It could be UV printed.
I'm sorry. If you want to go upstairs, she's on. She's texting me. Chris said, "Yep, I can get the results on my fiber. Haven't tested UV yet." So he's had success. Laser grading glass.
You must have to treat it though, because anytime I've touched a glass with a fiber laser, nothing happens.
I've never tried it, so I can't say.
Yeah.
You got to get 50,000 people messing you now. What are the settings?
Yeah, Chris has the settings for black on glass.
Yes, everyone wants to know, just go on Facebook or YouTube and just start asking. See, look what I just said, Chris. We need to talk. Exactly. He's gonna have a course on YouTube tomorrow. You want to do black on glass?
Yeah. I've never had luck with it.
Chris said, I have a custom current test as testing a sample to see how it stands up to commercial dishwashers. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, on that the printer, they say anything that's actually outside, permanently outside, that you should laminate it. I honestly was gonna put a sticker on my truck, nothing crazy. I was gonna put a Rick's 2 cent small sticker, just run through a car washer one time and see, well, how long does it last, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're selling someone something for $2 and it lasts a year, I think they got their money's worth, you know. So I don't know how long will it last exactly. So
yeah, I mean, I've UV printed on glass and ceramic, and it goes through the dishwasher fine.
Chris, I can't say this enough, and I think that there's, you know what I hope is that there's an awesome, amazing tool at an affordable price that's going to give people the capability to do amazing things, and there could be just one idiot who cuts his something off and screws it for everybody, right?
Well,
like
this is the 3D printer problem, right? Like the 3D printers are getting banned all over the place because some goofball decided to make a plastic gun out of it, and now all of a sudden you need to have a security check to buy a 3D printer.
Yeah,
like
you can't even buy a Bamboo Lab HD Pro. You cannot buy it. You have to inquire for it, and then they'll contact you. You can't go on anyone's website and buy it. It's not for sale. You have to inquire. Yeah. Why? Because exactly what Steve said.
Yeah, but it's not sufficiently different than the regular bamboo printers. So.
I know, but but at least in the Chicagoland area, Bamboo Lab HD Pro made major headlines because printing out guns, and that's exactly what they were using. So
yeah, I don't know, but the same thing is going to happen to lasers at some point too, and.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't even run a table saw anymore unless it stops you from chopping your fingers off, right? So
that was going to be my next point. Yeah, the point that they're going to increase how much is that stop saw? You can buy like 7 saws, right, or more.
Oh yeah, so it depends what you get, but you're looking at you're looking at least $3,000-$4,000. Mine was about $6,000.
Right, and my.
Because you get extra tables and stuff, right? And the price starts to go up.
And my DeWalt construction one is probably, I don't know, $600 maybe. I don't remember. It's been so long. I don't know.
Probably $500.
Yeah,
they always come on sale. Those things, and it's I mean, for a table saw, it's not a bad saw.
Right.
That's what I had before I got the saw stuff.
Crazy. But so you're saying, so I didn't read the comment. I just made a comment on it. Chris said, this is an easy way to underestimate the power of a machine. 100%. And, it's definitely a strong tool.
Yeah. Like the metal fab, the one I have is 1200 watts. Is that 1200 watt fiber laser? Right. That's 12 times as powerful as the fiber laser I use in my shop now.
Yeah. That's crazy. You want to take this one?
Chris says, Steve, it's called natural selection. Yeah. or an entry for the Darwin Awards. Yeah. Inevitably, you'd get somebody standing under a tree and cut a big branch off and it will fall on them.
You guys ever seen those memes? It's like there's an employee standing on the branch and someone's cutting the branch and they're like, which one is the stupid person? Because someone can fall. It's gonna be one of those memes with
they're all stupid.
Exactly. Radui said, could those wine glasses have been DTF?
It would have to be a sticker of some sort if they were.
DTF UV, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it would be UV.
Yeah. Also, wine does help DTF.
Sensors.
Dad
Sensors
joke.
are going to be honest.
Dad joke.
Santa's lasers here. He's running late tonight. Hopes everyone's good.
Thanks for
He's
joining,
good
brother.
too.
Thanks for joining. Speaking of Santa's Slave Engraving, I also got your email with these stickers. Anyone who sent those out, I will be getting those printed out this weekend. This week was kind of crazy for me because getting ready for my daughter to go to college, getting a new laptop, getting a new car, my daughter got a full academic scholarship for her 3.8 plus GPA. Insane. So all I can say, she got her brains from her mama, man, because I always struggled in school.
But these days, you could have bought her an EV now.
I tried, but they're just too expensive.
But factor in the price of gas.
I don't know, the car I bought our Nissan, it gets 34 miles to a gallon. It's kind of hard to beat that. Anything will beat that, to be honest.
Yeah, I suffice it to say, I'm not unhappy that I drive an electric car right now.
My truck, I can slam the gas and see the gas need a move, right?
Yeah.
Guys think like, I'm like, you're not worth it, buddy. I'm gonna waste like $8 in gas and still beat you. You want to take this one?
Chris says some people need to realize that word of mouth is better than open advertising for certain products. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't advertise.
I don't think for certain. I think for all.
Yeah, and there's lots of times when what I do feels like a job because people want stuff done. But
yeah, I say every customer will bring you customers. At least that's always been my
if you
case.
make them happy. Yeah.
Yeah. But you also will have those closet customers. And what I mean by that is that, where'd you get that from? They don't want to share it because they're happy to have it for themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's not
cool. That's I only make one-off, so somebody. I mean, quite often people will say, "I want to have the only one of these." Right, and sure, okay. The next person comes along and says, "Hey, I saw he had one." I'll say, "Yeah, I told him I was only ever going to make one." So.
Radu said, "Hey Santa, keep your voice down. Roger's sleeping." He's still knocked out. It looks like he turned his chair now.
Yeah, he moved. Oh, he's snoring.
He's snoring. He's still alive, people.
That's a good sign.
We can't do the mirror and fog. I had my son the other day watch Dennis the Menace. And he did not want to watch it. I don't want to watch. Oh, that kid was dying, man.
And now it's his role model, right?
The kid talking about when he was shooting the gum down his throat. Oh, that was so funny. There's just certain movies that generally make you laugh. Like laugh. That's one of them. So Alex says, do you have any suggestions for a mini electric screwdriver for precision work?
I have one.
I use the Husky.
Yeah, I don't know who made mine. It's out in the shop, so I don't have it here. But
and all my tools are dual, and I use a Husky Mini one, precision. It has an LED light built onto it. The charge lasts forever, and it's not overly strong, so that you don't strip something out. I love it, and it has forward and back, and I think it's like $30 or so. It's not well.
Yeah,
who knows?
Mine was a bit more than that, but
I said $30, but who knows? That same $30 screwdriver down Home Depot could be $75.
These days, yeah, it's probably now $200.
Yeah, exactly. But let me see if I could find it.
A fuel surcharge to get them now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Let me see. I'm looking it up. Oh, it's $49.88.
There you go, $50.
Yeah, $50.
Yeah, I think that's probably around what mine was.
Yeah, and like I said, it lasts forever. And it looks like they have a knockoff version of a scale for like 20 something bucks. It pretty much looks identical to that Husky.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of companies making these things, right? So they're probably all the same.
Yeah, it looks identical to the Husky. Yeah. Yeah, because it even has a electric conduit, electric contact. It looks the same as the Husky. This is the scale one. This one's $26.99, and half the price is the Husky. And if you touch anything that has an electric charger, it beeps. Beep. I like it a lot. My son actually brought it for show and tell to show that how it works. A tool. It's one of his things. You want to take this one?
Chris says, Alex, for something like that, you can't find it on Amazon. I would try AliExpress. Yeah, well, actually, I've seen them on Amazon.
Yeah.
But you know, AliExpress, you're going to get what's on Amazon, but it'll be quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah. The problem is that when you're buying something that's $20, what's the shipping then? Are you saving any money at all? You know.
Yeah.
Now, if you're saving some thousand, you're saving half the price.
But really, all Amazon is AliExpress plus shipping built in, right? If you've got Prime, so
yeah, off brands, but not name brands.
Yeah.
TTC 1940 says doesn't appeal a label smooth between letters, and I don't get where that was from. I missed this.
Well, yeah, but a UV printed sticker designed for glass
I get what you're saying.
could look that way.
Yes, as long as there's not a lot of buildup, right? It's not a lot of ink.
No, there's almost no ink to print something like that.
No, what I'm saying is you can definitely build up, but if they made it,
yeah,
it could have been intentionally.
You don't want something that gets your fingers caught while you're trying to hold the glass, right? So you're just going to put like maybe one layer of white and then whatever color you want on it. I guess the real test, Jim, would be if they have, in addition to black and white, if they have like red or some other color. Because if they have colors, then it's got to be most likely going to be
some kind of method. Yeah, print method.
Printer. Yeah.
Agreed. Santa's Living Great and said, driving my Jeep is like a brick going through the air, but I love it. My daughter wanted a Rubicon so bad, and I'm like, dude, you're not going off-roading. You do not need a Rubicon. And why a Rubicon? Oh, they look so cool. No Rubicon.
Because the doors come off.
Yeah, and then the Jeep, then the Ford Bronco. And I said, you know, to me, what a Ford Bronco is? A Ford Bronco to me, like a Jeep to me, is like exactly what a Jeep is. It's not over polished. It's not super fancy. It's a Jeep. It's a Jeep you could take off-roading, right? I mean, you can have a pavement princess Jeep, don't get me wrong, but you can take it off-roading. That's what it's made to do, right? But a Bronco to me is like a well-polished Jeep. It looks fancy, right? So my daughter's like, yeah, it's like an Escalade Jeep had a baby, and there came the Bronco. Well, Bronco's sharp looking, sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who drive here, especially where I live. Almost everybody has all-wheel drive, right? Because we can get lots of snow. There's quite a few people with high-end Jeeps, Rubicons, and there's one. They have one that's bigger, like it's big like a Chieftain or whatever they call the top one, but it's more rugged like a regular Jeep.
Okay.
Like a YJ. I forget what the model is, but I see them because there's a school across the street from me, so I see all the moms delivering their kids in the morning, right? Because it's right out my window, and you see a lot of these things.
Yeah,
but most cars here. I'd say that the big market share of cars is Subarus. Lots of Subarus.
Interesting.
Maine too is like I bet you Skylar drives a Subaru.
TTC 1940 said, I'm going to contact the wineries for info. I'm going to contact the wineries. I don't know if they'll share with you. Can't hurt to ask. But yeah.
See if they'll give you a glass. Send it for chemical analysis.
I spent $84 to find out it's a DTF sticker.
Yeah, it could be. Alex says, Chris never had one before, but finding I need it for my 3mm layered wall art. What does he need? Not a Jeep. Oh, his screwdriver, I think.
Oh. Okay, wildest live I've ever seen. Roger snoring.
Well, snoring's a good thing because he hadn't moved a whole lot there. It's a little unnerving. Oh yeah, he's wavering.
He's all right. He's good. Santa said, "How's the beep going again, Rick?" LOL. Beep.
Beep. What's that beat go? Oh, how does that beat go again? The what was it? What were you singing there earlier?
Oh, I'm gonna do some sketchy shit. Sketchy shit. Chris said AliExpress are now pushing that they are selling name brands now. You know what the thing is that I've seen DeWalt tools on there, and I'm like, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
like
they're selling things with name brand labels on them.
Right. It's printed with a name brand 3D printer.
Yeah, I don't know. AliExpress and Temu, all these people bug me on a regular basis to do something, and it's like, no, I don't want to deal with your stuff.
Temu went up to $5,000 on Temu stuff, and the reason I ended up turning Temu down was because I just didn't like their business practices. And what I didn't like their business practices was they got me on early as a customer. They send you these like things, $100 free item, and you click on it and you click something, and then it says you only need another purchase, and you're like, what? You click on it, and then it's like 5 items, and you're like, I just wanted this one thing, and then it was like $30, and you're like, you told me you gave me and you can't opt out of those. So it's like this. I just don't like the marketing, and I get it because like at the end of the day, the prices are so low. They don't want to sell you one thing. They're trying to double or triple dip on a sale because to make it worth their while, because the profit margin is low.
Yeah, I'll give Temu credit for selling everything. You can buy everything on Temu, but I don't think I want to do any reviews of things I got from Temu. It just seems all like scammy to me. I don't know, but it's probably not.
Yeah. I got my son a knockoff Game Boy on Temu, and when I got it, was I disappointed? No, because I kind of knew what I was getting. Right. I got my son another knockoff, another little game console thing, that run on Windows CE or something like that.
Windows CE. How old is that thing?
I know. No, it wasn't old, but that's what was running. When I got them, like Windows CE, what the heck? Because it's just run an emulator program,
Yeah.
So, so was I disappointed? No. But would I buy a tool I'd use every day? No. I mean, if to me, it has to be a throwaway item.
Yeah. I don't know. I got one of them. I think it might have been AliExpress just recently saying, hey, why don't we do something? Because I don't want to is the answer. Yeah,
$5,000 was tempting. Then when I just kept reading all the emails, I kept getting all the emails, just the way it's marketing, I just didn't like it. Like if I want to buy something, leave me alone, let me buy my one thing. And I couldn't even get out of that loop. I forget what they call that. like marketing tunnels or whatever.
Yeah, it's the same thing Vegas uses to keep you in the casino.
Yeah, it's didn't like that. Plus, I wasn't sure how do you review a bootleg item. Like, I know this isn't the real deal, but
I got this fake Rolex for $8. It's fantastic. It's just as good as a real one.
Exactly.
You know, why buy a $3,000 watch when you can buy an $8 watch and it's the same?
I got these 30-carat diamond earrings. They almost look like R. Kelly's. Don't they look real?
Chris says, I hate Temu. Snowball ordering system. There you go. That's the technology.
Exactly.
Deleted Temu and blacklisted 250 emails a day. Yeah, it's just not my thing. For one thing, most of the stuff I would make for a customer, anything Temu could sell me would not be something they'd be interested in.
The cool thing about Chicago is so, like, I could go into a Polish neighborhood in the city of Chicago and it'd be like I'm being Poland. I can go in an Irish neighborhood and it'd be like I'm in Ireland. I can go in Chinatown. And what I mean is like Walgreens, like all this name brand stores, not just mom and pops. The signs are not in English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, you go to 26th Street and or Pilsen in Chicago, it's all Spanish, right? They have even the banks, right? So we went to Chinatown this weekend, and my son's looking at all the stores. Oh, he got so embarrassed. He says, "Where's a Temu store?" I said, "Oh God, no filter on a 6-year-old, right?" I says, "Ricky, this is the Temu store."
Yeah, everything you see here is Temu.
But all the people looked at him because he said it so loud. He wanted. Oh God, it was funny though. Sanders Living Gravy said Temu takes forever to finally see anything without the pop-ups for free as you get XX. Yeah, that was my point. That's what I didn't like. Because honestly, I think, like I said, if it's a lower priced item and you knew that going in, like, I don't think there's something bad. I just didn't like that. I don't want to buy anything else. I want to buy this. And it was like I couldn't get out of it. Santa said, spell Rolex.
Spelled 2 L's in Rolex. Yeah, there's only 1 L.
That's why there was a
or it's you look at the face and it says relax.
Olex. Tony said Temu is good for magnets. Yeah, I mean it's something like that. Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to screw up a magnet, right?
Exactly. Something like that. Absolutely. Like even when I bought the 5,000 slate coasters that I still have. Actually, I think it was more than that. But
yeah. This sentiment is exactly why I only ever eat breakfast at McDonald's, because it's pretty hard to screw up an egg.
Yeah. Chris said Temu seems like they would.
Yeah,
we're gonna get hate letters from Temu on this.
Yeah, Temu is where people go when they're looking for a better deal than AliExpress, right? Like it's.
Yes, Temu seems like a reject shop for AliExpress. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Well, looks like we got a Twitch spammer. Yeah.
Whose channel is he on? Oops.
You gave him his 5 seconds of fame. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how to delete him, but
I don't even see the option to, only to share.
Yeah, there used to be an option to put a bullet through this guy.
Did you see what they added? Look at this. Now streaming. Look for Level Up. Streamer, a $10 discount. So if anyone is wondering, since
it's coming from your channel because it has it's actually your name on it, which is a little
no, I just did that. That was from StreamYard. I was laughing that That was like a plug.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe that's why we can't maybe that's why Steve and I can't block him. Maybe he's not on our channel.
Well, it's
But,
on somebody's channel. Well, it could be on Rogers, I guess, because
yeah,
Rogers is asleep at the switch there.
I'm telling you, we once we end the live, we just gotta leave.
Yeah, he's gonna have to stay there. It's like we can't wake him up.
We'll just leave him live so we can check on him. Roger, we didn't leave you on the live. We were doing to check on you. Oh, so if anyone is wondering how the heck do we do what we do, it is an app called StreamYard. I'm not dropping the link. I did just to be a wise guy, but it's not a sales pitch that I means. So if you're on Roger's Facebook, if you're on Roger's YouTube, Steve's Facebook, Steve's YouTube, mine, whatever, it doesn't matter. The app pulls all the comments together. And that's also part of the reason why we share the comments. Because if you're on Steve's YouTube channel and you're on my Facebook group, you can't see each other's comments. We can see them because of the app. But when we share them, then everyone can see them. If that makes sense. Sounds like a great set. Somebody cover him up before we leave. Yeah. I called him 3 times. And I didn't even hear his phone ring because I'm sure his phone's Bluetooth, which is probably ringing in his ear.
Yeah, I don't see it on my channel. So
yeah. So happy hump day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And I'll say it again, man. If you guys are not already, and I think most of you already in this already are, if you're not a member of our Facebook group, join it, man. Join it. I love seeing everyone's the stuff that they make for sale. I bought Skylar, man. She posts all the time, and I end up buying stuff from her. I'm on my second cross. She makes a lot of cool stuff.
Well, she does make some things that are really tempting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on my second cross. I bought one for my wife, and we put it above a memorial for my mother-in-law. And I bought one for one of my best friends because her husband passed away. So, yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and watch this stream and see Roger actually vanish into slumber there. Because it just seemed like I wasn't paying attention, and then I looked at him and he was asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Radu said, is the government site or other sites a good place to see if business names are already taken? What you mean taken, you mean trademarked? Because
or a domain name, maybe.
Oh, domain? Go to GoDaddy.
Yeah. Well, or who is, like, there's lots
no,
of
the only reason I'm saying GoDaddy is because right at the top, it'll say this is taken, and then AI comes over and says, these are also good items. And it will change the name, do this, and then give you other creative ideas. So that's kind of cool. Because let's say you were stuck on a name and then you're heartbroken because it was taken. Maybe the something is better than it, you know? So just an idea. And GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy. They're super cheap. I've been using them since the 90s. I remember when they first started coming out commercials, they were so wild that people thought they were going to get sued on TV with stuff they were saying. Well, kind of funny. Mark at GC Heartstroke.
Heat stroke. Yeah.
Heat stroke.
GC.
What's up, all? Happy hump day. Hello. Thank you for joining the live.
So my quest for the rest of the week is to actually get a video done. But now I have to start from scratch because I don't have any lasers right now other than the metal fab. And I have to wait for my electrician. So that'll be a few days at least.
Okay.
But I have to do a follow-up. I have to do a long-term review of the Eufy Makey one now that everybody has them. So everybody who pre-ordered now, apparently, like everybody who bought in the crowdfunding phase, apparently has them now. So,
I saw that post. I saw them posted on Facebook.
Yeah. So that means they have stock in their online store.
And I assumed that was true because when I saw that on Facebook and it was a public post, if it wasn't, I'm sure they'd be brutally attacked, right? People would be like, no, it's not, So I didn't see any hate comments.
Yeah.
And that was a paid advertisement, so I'm sure it was coming up a million times.
No, it's legit. I was talking to them and they said, yeah, we've shipped to all of the early buyers, and now they're moving to in stock phase. So in their store where you can just go and
so what was
connect
the
and
price
buy one.
difference? Do you know?
I don't know.
I just thought that generally when you are on those type of Kickstarters, it's a significant savings. That's
Yeah,
the reason.
you mentioned, by the way, that somebody reached out about the e-print, the longer.
Yes.
So that's probably a scam.
No.
because I talked to them, and I talked to the person who gives the blessing on whether they should ship these things or not, and they don't have anything out there yet.
Unless they're spoofing their email.
Oh, that's possible.
I also see it offered on Facebook on advertisement saying that they're in a pre-launch, right? Pre-sales.
Yeah, no, they haven't started anything yet.
Then maybe someone's spoofing them. I you know what? They're sending me a new laser.
Laser? They have a new 3D printer.
Oh, some little guy that I think we told him no before. And
the
I finally said yes. I'm just gonna give it away.
35 mini, I think it is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the review. So the whole reason I'm doing this review is because, kind of, Steve, you kind of pushed me in that direction because I was turning down like so many reviews, just because like I was getting 200 emails of all these entry level lasers, and I'm like, I just don't want to do it. And at the end of the day, like how many open frame lasers I want to do and what's really the big difference. And but you had mentioned to me that like, I got to keep in mind that not everyone can afford the top of the line laser, and it's okay to throw in a mix once in a while. So that's kind of the reason why I'm doing the review.
Yeah, so the one I was working on that just died yesterday is probably a $300 laser. Like it's cheap, right? It's a first laser, and I was kind of excited to get it out there because, like, if I do a review of a metal fab, like no one's going to buy those things; they're so expensive, right? So, I want to try to do things that are at least realistic for people to achieve, because nobody's going to certainly buy a metal fab as a first laser or even a 10th laser.
So this is what I would say. If you go on Amazon or you go to Google and you search for any laser and you filter search Google to say $300 or less, I'd probably say it's junk and don't spend it. Don't waste your money, right?
Yeah.
But the only thing that I would see is most of them, right? But what I'm saying is, when in that same exact price range, but a brand, not a who knows what that is, you're probably going to get a way much better laser, because if this is a reputable brand, that they're not going to put out junk, right? And the reason it's $300 is probably because its footprint is smaller, and the laser just is a lower wattage.
Yeah, and that's the case of this one, right? It's got a small work area, but if you're just getting started, this first laser business is really just about finding out if it's something you want to do, right?
Yes.
Because the last thing you want to do is spend $2,000 on like an alien cell, for example, and say, okay, this is my first laser, and then you realize you hate the thing.
And learning Lightburn, like, so if you're learning Lightburn and now you're like, hey, it's something I really want to do, like, not all, I'd say 90% of all lasers are compatible. Not to say like X-Tool, things like that, they don't have extra features in their own version of software, but when you do spend that money on that higher laser, that you kind of do want to hit the ground running because you need to recoup on your money, you're more prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's so I was very excited to actually cover this laser, and I was quite disappointed that it stopped working on me. I don't know what happened to it, but hopefully they'll either send me a new laser module for it or send me a new laser. $300, they can just send me a new laser. But yeah, I wanted to do that one because the next one is probably the metal fab, right? And hey, he's alive.
It's right here.
Yeah. Lost it there for a little bit.
Jeez, we
We
had
let
to
you
check
take
a
a
couple of
snooze.
times to make sure you were snoring.
We tried the mirror test, but it doesn't work through the internet.
No, it doesn't. No, it's been a long day. Been up early, and that time of the season with the greenhouse business and everything. Long days, and I get a little tuckered out sometimes. Sorry
No
about
worries.
that.
No worries, brother.
I'm at the point where I have an afternoon nap now.
Oh, I'd love to be able to do that.
Well, I still start work at 6 in the morning, so you know.
Yeah, I wake up at 4:30, even when I don't want to. I'm so stuck in that. I don't even know why.
I did for quite a few years after I retired. Kept same thing every morning, automatically up. And it didn't need to be, but no, not so much.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to sleep till 7 now.
Oh, I wish I could do that. So Santa says he spent 2 days chasing what was causing his wavy lines on his CO2. Now got back to making this week. What was the wavy line problem?
I was gonna say, you can't say that, then not tell what it was. So how'd you figure? Oh, maybe okay. He said later on down. Let's see.
Oh,
What was the wavy culprit?
Pulley mounted on the. Well,
Here
okay,
you go.
we'll do that one first. Yeah, the pulley
Yep.
was mounted on a plate that connects to the gantry with 2 screws to adjust. When it was installed, it was crooked. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So just straighten it out and tighten down the screws, and everything's golden. Okay, go
Yeah,
back
cool
to
that you're able
the
to-
go back to
Yeah,
the
no,
previous
that's
one.
more frustrating. At least you figured it out. Now that's a video you should make. Because someone beating their head against the wall, you're gonna go, guess what? Do this.
Well, I could have done that, but I've now scrapped that laser. Because all the other CO2 lasers that I have access to all have, like, there's really no adjustment to anything on them. They're just perfect to start with.
You're up, Steve.
Tim says, Steve, what do you think of the videos out there where the ink and cleaning cartridge hacks? This is for the E1. I mean, realistically, the ink in those cartridges is the same ink you can buy online, but there is some cheap ink out there. So I wouldn't say do it because you can buy the cheapest ink possible, because that ink has probably got gravel in it. It's going to be terrible. But you know, if you're buying decent ink, it's still going to be cheaper than the 100 milliliters you're going to get in a cartridge. And you know, but I would wait until the lasers or the printer's off warranty.
So one thing that I would say is that when inkjet printers really became a big thing, right? They would sell these printers for like $40.
Yeah.
Ink was like $85, right? So you got to remember too is that these printers that they're selling, because to have a warranty, you have to purchase their consumables. Part of that price, the reason that product itself is lower than they could definitely sell it for, is because they're making the assumption that you're going to be continuously purchasing material from them, right?
Yeah.
So one thing is it's dialed in.
Their solution to that problem was to put those starter cartridges in things, where they only put like a quarter of the ink, or if it's a laser, the carbon. And I once bought a cheap laser printer. So I go into the store, one of these big box stores, and the printer was like, and it was like $100 or something crazy for a laser printer. And the guy says, would you like to buy an extra cartridge for it? I said, how much is that? He said, $75. I said, this one comes with a cartridge, right? He said, yeah. And at that time, it was before they went to these starter cartridges, so it was a regular cartridge. I said, screw that. When the cartridge is dead, I'll throw the printer away and buy another one. He was trying to sell me extended warranty and stuff too, and it's like, what are you, mental?
Yeah, so definitely what Steve said, though, I would agree that as long as it's in warranty, I would stay with the OEM ink.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there's a few videos. I've watched them all too. Now, keep in mind, Tim, that by I think around Q3, and we're in Q2 now, so it's only a few more months. They're talking about this being Eufy they're talking about adding their large ink system. So they're, I guess what it is a big vat over here and a cartridge with a tube that runs from that to the printer. So I would pick the sanctioned one all the time.
Well, Chris is saying glad to see me awake. You know how he feels. Well, I've been up since 3:30 this morning, and it's been that way almost every day the last 2 weeks. So burning the candle at both ends, so to speak. I'm getting old for that, but yeah.
You just turned 21. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I've been 21 a few times now.
Chris said at one stage I would buy a printer with the sample cartridge because it's cheaper than buying a cartridge.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. And you just, you take it to recycling after and you say, oh, here's a printer. Perfectly good. Go buy yourself some cartridges. Well, it's ridiculous, right? Because the printer with the cartridges when you buy it, and even though they're starter cartridges, is cheaper than a full set of cartridges, right? So It's like, I'm not going to buy another set of cartridges. Like I have an Eco Tank now, which is nice because I'm still on the original ink in the thing. I don't print very much anymore, but it's nice because you can just fill up the individual one that needs ink, right? So
yeah,
I originally got it to do sublimation and did that for a while and then switched it back to regular ink.
Yeah, then that's what Shaquille O'Neal is known for now, right?
Yeah,
he's the
print Eco Tanks. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Whatever pays the bills.
Yeah, no, I'm not hating. I saw a post yesterday on Michael Jordan, and it said that he makes like $225 million a year, still, from his shoes, and that he's the richest athlete from any endorsement deals. Still continues to make money after how many long he's played any sports.
Yeah, well, he's made well over $1 billion, right? Just selling, just being the corporate shill.
Yeah.
Now he's an influencer. You see, if you want to know what an influencer is, it's a guy like Michael Jordan.
Yeah. He's a little tight, but I could probably live on that kind of money.
Let's say I carry that kind of money in my sock. Ordinary Woodworker said, I do buy the same. I'm laughing because I can't even. I do buy the same new HP printer for $50 that comes with the ink. It runs out. I buy a new printer because it's $50 for black and white color.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's terrible for the environment, right? Because you're getting rid of all these electronics all the time. But at some point you go, well, we've had a good run, the environment and I, but at some point my wallet is more important, right?
Yeah. Is this a new name?
Sim the Turnery. No, that's a returning name.
Okay.
But normally the cartridges are shipped with the printer. Yeah, they're limited. They're not full cartridges. They have like a quarter of the ink in them. But if you print like I do, the starter cartridge will last a year, right? So I don't print a whole lot.
The other thing is these printers now, they wrote in the firmware end of life.
Yeah.
That's crazy because the printers work so well that they want it to not work. And there's these firmware hacks you can download,
to fail, right? Because they've got to keep the volume up. So, and I hate. So I also have a color laser printer, and it's got some kind of ID chips in the cartridges, right? So you can't use aftermarket ones. However, it's like one screw. You turn this screw out, and the little module comes out, and you can screw it back into a new cartridge. And it's like, why are you wasting your time, right? Just do it.
Yeah, there was a Epson did that, and you had to get a chip resetter.
Yeah.
Reset the chip when you refilled it. Otherwise, they'd know. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine's a Brother printer. It's not that smart. It just looks for some thing it can scan, right? And go, okay, yeah, you've got a real cartridge. But it's literally one screw to take it out and put it into a new cartridge.
Wow. So anything coming out from
HP printers are like that.
anything new in Roger's shop?
Not really. Just this time of year, you know, if everybody out there doesn't know, we own a greenhouse business. We have 4 commercial greenhouses, and springtime is our busy season. And of course, I don't have my life partner anymore, so I have to pretty much do everything myself. So it's an adjustment.
Spectrum of Reality said the reason your printer is always out of ink is because it consistently uses yellow ink to put watermarks in every page you print so they can be tracked back to your metadata.
Ooh, conspiracy theory.
We need the UV light to verify.
I haven't seen any yellow marks on any of my prints, but I think the whole point of an eco tank is they don't track anything. You can put any ink you want in there.
What's crazy is stuff like this is like when they said, "Oh, Alexa's listening to you, your TV's listening to you." Then there's class action lawsuit. We were listening to you. And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
You can't see
it. It is always a little disturbing when you know you can be having a conversation in your living room and the next day you start getting ads for whatever you were talking about. Right? It's like
100%. Even I got an email yesterday about PayPal. PayPal had a breach and didn't tell people, and it's $2,500 for the class action lawsuit.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, it's crazy. Chris said, "Yep, it microprints the printer's serial number on each page. Stopped it a while ago." Wow. Yeah, actually, mine was till our dog broke it. Because I have a Samsung TV and it has the microphone. You can talk to the TV.
Oh, and the dog ate it.
She bit it and broke the microphone.
Oh. Well, I've got an LG. I've got an LG. One of the TVs I have is an LG. The remote, you can tell it what to do. You're just talking to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't always listen, but I talk to it anyway.
Yeah, my screens I had back here were LGs, and they were actually it was nice because I could turn them on remotely from like home control software, right? Because literally I could come into my studio and push the OK, turn everything on button, and now I can't do that. This screen back here doesn't have any kind of remote access to it.
Razor Ray said, "Smart dog." Bite the microphone. Yeah.
I gotta admit, it's pretty good aim. Unless he ate the whole remote, but
no, it's a little hole, like a teeth just landed, and it's a massive. Her big giant mouth just landed right perfectly in that little hole.
If he just took one of his canines and jammed it into the hole, perfect.
Exactly.
A lesson.
Yeah, the remote still works, but the mic does not. It has a little dent where the mic is. I want to buy a new one, but they're actually kind of expensive, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "Man, I guess I don't have a microphone."
Yeah,
paying $85 for
it's a $5 thing when it comes out of the factory, but they charge you a fortune for them because they can.
Spectrum Reality said people are tripping because their smart fridge screens displays advertisements, so it's so the screens in the Jeep products. Yeah, you know, actually, I saw today for the first time the radio station I was listening on my screen. The radio station during the commercial, it changed from their logo to the advertisement that was advertised on the radio. I thought that was like, whoa, that's crazy.
The satellite
seen that.
radio or
No, just regular radio.
huh.
I have the.
I guess I never look. I mean, I've got the screen too in the truck in the car, but I just never look over there.
Yeah,
So I have a Laramie, Steve. So it's kind of just like your stereo in the Tesla, the big giant long
Yeah.
one. Same thing.
Apparently I have AM FM stereo in my car, but I've never run the radio. I just can't deal with commercials, so it's always stream music for me.
All right, guys. Looks like we're at time. It's 8:30. Today went fast. Thank you,
Went
everyone.
really fast for me tonight.
Yeah, we did
Thanks, everyone.
capture you falling asleep. Apparently, I didn't see it, but I looked down and you were like.
Yeah. So thank you for everyone joining the live. If you're not already a member, please make sure to join our Facebook group. Appreciate everyone also to give us a subscribe and a thumbs up on the comments in the video. Steve, Roger, you want to say anything on the live before we close out?
Help me get to help me get to 200,000 now. Subscribe.
Oh, I'm a little bit rested now, so I'll be awake for at least another hour.
All right, guys. See you next week. Thank you for joining.
Take care, all. Bye.
Hey, next week I'll be the quesadilla chef who won't be here, but I'll be here the week after.
Actually, maybe I'll talk to Skylar because I was going to mention it, Steve. I have a company outing next week for a Blackhawks game.
And you're gonna do that instead of come to our live stream?
Skybox Blackhawks.
It's just a fancy seat.
That sounds like more fun than making 200 quesadillas, but
So you're here
I'll take-
next week, Roger?
no, I'll be a quesadilla chef in the kitchen.
Oh, so it's just
every
Skylar.
third
and I.
Wednesday of the month. So
I'm okay if we take a break because I have lots to do right now.
You want to skip next week, or you want to?
Oh, it's up to you guys. It's fine with me.
We'll circle back offline then. And we'll
Okay.
let you guys know.
Yeah, see if Skylar can do it. If she's busy, then we'll just skip a week.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
see everybody later. Thanks.